Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be having a look at the newly revealed Rus tech tree. The Rus are described as being a 2-star difficulty civilization with the main traits being conquest, expansion and trade. The Rus derive great benefit from the countryside. They're able to gather resources more readily from hunting and forestry and can field strong combat units. Enemies face strong early game fortifications and a diverse economy that cannot be easily disrupted. So looking at their civ bonuses, they generate gold and increase bounty when killing animals. Higher bounty provides additional food income from all sources. Early night available in the feudal age. Stronger palisades with twice as much health. Construct hunting cabins, improve mills that produce scouts and generate gold from nearby forests. Construct wooden fortresses. Improved outposts with the additional health and garrison slots. And finally, fishing ships don't have to return to a dock to drop off food. So all civilizations have influence, and the influence for the Rus is that lumber camps built within the influence of a wooden fortress return 20% more wood. So they do have a few unique units. They have the streltsy. This is a gunpowder unit which gets stronger when stationary. It has high melee attack and can be trained for a reduced cost. They have the warrior monk, inspires nearby units when in combat, providing bonus armor and damage. Then they have the loggia ships. These can be converted into any type of ship. Now having a look at the main tech tree. As we can see in the Dark Age, there are a few differences. As already mentioned, we get the hunting cabin instead of the mill, and we get fortified palisade walls and palisade gates, and we also get the wooden fortress, but apart from that, everything else is the same. So the hunting cabin, this is like a mill. Villagers can drop off food at this building. It houses technologies to improve food gathering and produces scouts. It generates gold based on the number of nearby trees. Gold rate is decreased by nearby hunting cabins. So that sounds as though the bonus there is based on the number of trees and not the number of hunting cabins, so you can't really stack it up by the sound of it. So moving on from there, the main difference in terms of technologies and units are within the dock, and this is regarding the loggia ships. So as we can see in the dock, we have loggia fishing ships, loggia transport ships, trade ships, attack ships and demolition ships. They miss out on the other ship in the Castle Age and also the warship in the Imperial Age. So in terms of the loggia attack ship, this is actually the archer class ship, so it's crewed with archers. So in terms of the stats for this unit, it's actually pretty weak, one of the weakest archer ships in the game. It has 8 ranged attack and it has a burst of 5 attacks, so it will shoot 5 arrows in one go. They also have the demo ship, which is pretty standard compared to other demo ships within the game. So as we've already mentioned, the loggia can be converted into any other type of ship, and the way that it works essentially is if you convert in a fishing ship into something that's more expensive, for example, you will essentially just pay the difference from what you originally paid for the fishing ship compared to, let's say we're upgrading it to the demolition ship. You would just pay the difference in resources between the two. However, if we had the demolition ship and we were going to downgrade it to a fishing boat, you would essentially be losing the resources that you spent on the demolition ship initially, but you would then also have to pay an extra 25 wood to do the conversion. They do have a couple of unique technologies within the dock. They have clinker construction. This increases the health of loggia attack ships by plus 200, so that's really good. And they also have cedar hulls. This increases the health of loggia attack ships by 200 again, and their ranged armor by plus 1. Moving on from there, on the tech tree, we do have the fortified palisade wall and palisade gates. As we've already mentioned, they have double the health of ordinary palisade walls. We then have the wooden fortress. This is an upgraded outpost. So it's described as a sturdy wooden stronghold with an extensive line of sight. It can be upgraded with weapon emplacements and used as a garrison in case of attack. They do actually garrison 8 units rather than 5. In terms of the upgrades that they can get, they have castle turret and castle watch. In terms of castle turret, this increases the damage of arrows fired from this wooden fortress by plus 2, and castle watch increases the sight range of this wooden fortress by 6 tiles. Moving on from there, we'll have a little look at the archery range. So it's a fairly standard archery range in terms of the archers and the crossbowmen. However, they do have 2 unique units in here. They have the streltsy, which is produced in the Imperial Age. This is essentially a hand cannoneer. And then they have horse archers that can be produced in the Castle Age. They also have some technologies there as well. In terms of the streltsy, this is a powerful ranged infantry with reasonable melee capabilities, increased rate of fire while stationary. They have a high damage, lower cost than a hand cannoneer, but they do move quite slowly. We then have the horse archer. This is a light ranged cavalry. Highly mobile, ranged cavalry, effective against slower melee units. It has high mobility and it's weak against ranged units, but you can upgrade them further through these unique technologies, such as mounted precision. This increases the range by +2, and we've got double time. This is mainly for the streltsy. This enables them to gain the double time ability, which increases the movement speed by +30% and speeds up their static deployment time by +50% for 10 seconds. Following on from that, we've got the stable. So the stable is fairly standard, however they do receive knights early, which can be created in the feudal age. You can upgrade them by getting Boyar's Fortitude, increase the health of the Rus cavalry by +20, and then you can get knight sabers, so this increases the melee damage of knights by +4. So moving on, we'll look at their monastery. So they have the warrior monk instead of standard monks, and they also have a unique technology which is blessing duration. The warrior monk is a military-minded support unit that improves combat capabilities of nearby units after it attacks. It can pick up relics, convert enemy units, and capture sacred sites. So essentially it just acts like a monk, but it can attack as well. Moving on from there, we'll look at blessing duration, so the unique technology within the monastery. This increases the duration of Saint's Blessing by +10 seconds. So that will be one of the powers that the monk has. So that's it for the main tech tree. We'll have a little look at the landmarks now and how the Rus age up. So the first option they have available to progress to the feudal age is the Golden Gate. So this allows the exchange of resources at a favourable rate and generates an additional exchange every minute. So it works a bit like a market. And you also have the Kremlin. Acts as a wooden fortress that comes with arrow slits, castle turrets and castle watch technologies. Looking into moving into the castle age, we have the Abbey of the Trinity. This acts as a monastery. It can produce warrior monks at half the cost and contains unique religious technologies. So these unique religious technologies are improved blessing. This improves the damage granted by the Saint's Blessing by +1, and Saint's Reach. This increases the range of the Saint's Blessing by 3 tiles. So the other landmark that they can make to progress to the castle age is the High Trade House. This generates gold like a hunting cabin, with the value increased by 200%. It also spawns deer every 60 seconds. So then to advance into the Imperial Age, first one we have is the Spaskaya Tower. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. This acts as a keep with all the weapon emplacements already in place and with increased health. We then have the High Armory. This decreases the cost of siege engines in nearby siege workshops by -20%, and it contains unique siege engine technologies. The first one we're going to look at is the Wandering Town. So the Wandering Town increases damage for rams by 100%. Siege crew training. This means that the setup and teardown speed of trebuchets and mangonels is instant. Fine-tuned guns. This reduces the reload time of bombards by -25%. And banded arms. This increases the range of springords by 1.5 tiles. That's it for this one, guys. Quite an interesting civ. Quite a lot going off with the dock there. Do let me know in the comments what you think about the Rus and if you think they're going to be a strong civilization. I'm quite excited to see what the meta is going to be for the Rus. But do check out the playlist on the right hand side of the screen now. This will be for all the other tech trees for every other civ. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Age of Empires 4 content, and I'll see you soon.